It has been a while since I've done this, because yes, we already finished Turnabout Revolution. Now, there's still one more case to do. Yeah, I did say we were gonna finish it, right? So, let's get to it. We finished every one of the main episodes, but like with Dual Destinies, there's one more episode that needs to be complete. And it's this one, the special episode. It's time for us to get started with Turnabout Time Traveler. This is gonna be one for the ages. Now begins the special episode, Turnabout Time Traveler.
I'm not completely heartless. I'll even throw that time machine you cherish so much overboard with you.
Please take me back to that blissful moment.
It's almost time for the reception, milady.
It actually really worked.
September 21st, 10:13 a.m. Write Anything Agency.
Okay, let me make sure I've got this straight. When your magic panties appear, I do a backflip into a handstand and then blow out the candle? No, Athena, you've got it all wrong. You do a backflip through the Ring of Fire while holding the candle in your mouth. Ugh. There's no way I'll ever be able to do that. Sure you can. I believe in you, Athena.
Trucy, what are you and Athena up to?
Athena's agreed to be a part-time performer in my magic show. I couldn't say no to some extra cash, but I probably should have thought it through first. Now it's human cannonball this, guillotine that. It's not like I have 9 lives, you know.
You've made your bet, Athena. Now you've got to lie at it.
No! I'm too young to be taking out a life insurance policy already.
My name is Phoenix Wright. I'm the head of this law office. And since...
When did you become the head of this office, Daddy? I mean, who exactly does all the cleaning, accounting, and scheduling around here, huh?
You've got me there, Trucy. This is Trucy Wright. She's my adopted daughter and a magician.
And I'm Athena Sykes, the rising star lawyer of the Write Anything Agency.
Or rather, the rising star assistant to Trucy, you mean.
If I don't get back into a courtroom soon, I'm gonna forget everything I ever learned.
Speaking of the courtroom, we haven't exactly had any clients lately, have we?
Business as slow as ever, huh, Nick? Bet you make more money back when you played the piano.
Yo, long time no see. Larry?
I haven't seen you in years. What brings you here all of a sudden?
Some big news, that's what. Okay.
Who's this guy, boss?
This is Larry Butz. He's, well, let's just say he's an old friend of mine. So, Larry, what's so big that you had to come and tell me in person?
There's somebody I want you to meet. Hey, you can come in now. All right. How do you do?
Hi.
That dress! Is that a wedding dress? Yes, it is. My name is Ellen Wyatt. I'm a domestic servant, a maid of the Sprocket household. Sprocket? As in Sprocket Aviation? Yes, that's the one. Wow, Mr. Wright, Sprocket Aviation is a really big airline company. You've heard of Rainbow Airlines, right? The one they call RAL for short?
Yeah, that does sound familiar.
Well, it's run by Sprocket Aviation.
I see. But what is a Sprocket family maid doing here in a wedding dress?
So, actually, we've decided to get married.
You what? I'm not so young anymore, you know. I figured it's time to finally settle down.
What? Getting married? No way. I don't believe it. Besides, why would someone as well put together as her choose someone as flaky as Larry? You're kidding, right? Jealous? I don't blame you, but green's really not your color, you know.
All right, Larry. Lay it on me. What's with this guy? In all seriousness, Larry, are you really getting married?
Not right away, but that's the plan. We're gonna elope, see? Like, love on the run, I guess you could say. Isn't that right, Ellie? Larry, I do believe there's been a major misunderstanding here. My heart already belongs to another. I'm in love with Soren, not you.
Say what?
That's about what I thought.
But Ellie, baby, weren't you running away with me so we could get married?
As I said, you misunderstand. You said you helped me escape. That's the only reason I ran away with you.
Ah! This is not happening! I even shook off the police for you! And for what? That's it! If we can't be together, my life is over. I'm gonna end it all!
Wait, back up. Did you say you shook off the police?
Yes, we had to, because we're lovers on the lam.
Sorry, Miss Wyatt, but can you maybe fill me in on what's going on? To tell the truth, I'm being pursued by the police as a murder suspect.
Murder?
They think you killed somebody? I happened to find a dead body at my reception, so the suspicion fell onto me. They had me confined in a separate room. And that's when Larry came along and helped me escape.
I'm sorry, but what? No, Nick! Me and Ellie were gonna elope. We were gonna put it all on the line for true love. But the police tried to stop us, so we had to scramble and shake them off. Where'd it all go wrong?
I feel a migraine coming on. Please help me. The police are sure to be intensifying their search. Look, it's even on TV.
More news on the murder suspect and an unidentified man on the run from the police. A photo of the suspect, Miss Ellen Wyatt, has just been released by the police. Sources say that the 21-year-old is suspected of clubbing the victim, 25-year-old Dumas Bloomsbury, to death in the wedding reception hall after her banquet. The two fugitives are said to be highly agitated and dangerous. If you see them...
You've got to be kidding me. Oh, brother. I guess this means we're technically harboring a pair of fugitives here, huh?
Oh, Nick, what's it gotta do? At least dump me hardcore. I'm the one who should be crying.
What is wrong with you, man? I haven't seen you in ages. Where have you been all this time?
You mean you don't know? You really gotta stop living under a rock and get out more. I'm the hippest, hottest picture book author in the business. Laurie, stone him. I can't believe you didn't know that I'm taking the picture book world by storm.
Oh, but I know you. You're the one who wrote Franzie's Whippity Whip Trip, right?
I can't believe they mentioned it.
Now that you mention it, I think I did hear something about a one-hit wonder.
One-hit wonder? What the heck, Nick? I'll have you know I just created a brand new character to moderate acclaim. He's mildly popular with 18 to 24-year-old women everywhere. Look, you can see his cute self all over this jacket.
What? That heart-shaped pork chop?
He's not a pork chop! He's the main character of my latest picture book. A lovable little soul who pierces the hearts of lovers with his arrows of amour. Cute Piglet! And you can see this adorable fellow make his debut in Cute Piglet's Lovey-Dovey Lark, in stores now. Are you sure? Because I've never seen that book in stores, now or ever. Well, if you ever do see it, do me a favor and buy a copy or 10, will ya?
But I thought you were taking the picture book world by storm.
Anywho, you'll defend Ellie in court, right, buddy?
Please, I'm begging you. I didn't murder anyone. I swear I am as clean and pure as this pure white dress.
No Cyclops. I guess that means she's telling the truth.
But helping a fugitive on the run? What am I getting myself into? There's actually one more thing I really need to tell you.
Oh?
You might find this hard to believe, but the truth is, I'm a time traveler.
Huh? I'm not sure I follow.
After the wedding reception, I was attacked. I was moments away from my death. But then, in that instant, I made a wish upon this pendant around my neck, and I went back in time to just before the reception started. Only this time around, the man who was trying to kill me was already dead, and somehow I became the suspect for his murder. It's as if history had been rewritten.
Now wait just a minute here. I don't understand. Are you saying that... What's going on?
Mr. Wright, there are police cars outside. And not just one or two, but a whole bunch. Daddy, a whole squad of officers has the building surrounded.
What? This is the police. There is no escape. Drop your weapons and come out with your hands up.
Nick, what do we do? Heck if I know. I see a bunch of armed officers out there. 1, 2, 3... 44, 45. Wow, talk about overkill.
Listen here, you criminals. Think about what you're putting your poor parents through. I'm sure this isn't how they raised you. Think about their smiling faces and their warm, home-cooked meals.
Who in the heck are you? A detective? Now hold on there. Hey, you can't go in there. It's too dangerous. Wait! Is everyone okay in here, Mr. Wright? Emma! I'm sorry for all the commotion. So what in the world is going on? Well, I raced on over as soon as I heard that it was Mr. Butz who holed himself up in here, with the murder suspect after he made off with her. And the fleet of patrol cars? The police are being extra careful, because apparently a certain somebody yelled out, "Stay back! I have a bomb!" I'm sure you can guess who I'm talking about. Well, the police were being so persistent I had to do something, so I tried bluffing. You know, like you do in court, Nick. Please leave me out of this. Well, Mr. Wright, I'm bringing this young lady in for questioning. So if you want to talk with her, you'll have to do it down at the detention center. I suppose I should thank you for your thoughtful gift of trouble and mayhem, Larry. Come on, Nick. We gotta get down to the detention center right away. Listen, Larry. I haven't even decided whether I'm gonna take on this case or not. But I know you will. 'Cause it's you. Guess I've got no choice but to tag along and help then. What? And skip out on me? We've only just started practicing your repertoire, you know. Huh? You better stay in practice with Trucy, Athena. A promise is a promise, after all. That's cold, boss. You gotta get me out of this. I can't take it anymore. Let's get practicing, Athena. Next up is some training for the water tank escape tray. Stick your head in this bucket of water and hold your breath for 15 minutes. No! Stop! I'm begging you! Ah, she's getting away! You get back here, Athena! I guess the only person cut out to be Trucy's assistant is Apollo. Well, guess we better get to the detention center and ask Miss Wyatt some questions. Especially about that whole time traveling business she was talking about. Well, let's do it then. September 21st, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. Oh, it's you, Mr. Wright. Miss Wyatt, would you mind if I asked you a few questions? Nick is gonna defend you, Ellie. Isn't that great? Larry, I told you I haven't decided yet. What? What? You're not going to take my case? Ah! I'm never gonna be happy! Miss Wyatt, what the? Did I do something wrong? Ah! Miss Wyatt, please calm down. I'm innocent, I tell you. But the police won't believe me, and neither will anyone else. I'm gonna die all alone in a jail cell! All right, I'll do it. I'll take your case. Just please stop crying. Really? You will? The fact that Larry was the one who brought you to me had me a little worried, but you don't seem like a killer to me. Oh, thank you! Ah! Thanks, Nick. I knew you'd come through. Did I really have a choice? I guess not. In any case, it doesn't seem like Miss Wyatt killed anybody. Plus, it's not like I'm up to my ears in work at the moment. Miss Wyatt, Ellen, let's do this. Together. There. It's going to be okay. Now, try to pull yourself together. All right, just give me a moment. I'm truly grateful to you for taking on my defense, Mr. Wright.
Sure, no problem. Wow, she literally pulled herself together.
Ellen, please tell me everything you can about the incident. All right. It happened after the wedding reception. I was attacked by Mr. Gloomsbury.
Wasn't Bloomsbury the name of the victim in that news report? Maybe I should listen to what she has to say first, though, before I start asking questions.
How dare that guy lay a hand on somebody else's blushing bride? What a creep!
That's rich coming from you. Do you have any idea why he attacked you?
No, but...
But what?
Well, to tell the truth, Mr. Gloomsbury didn't seem very happy about me getting married.
Jeez, jealous much? What a loser!
Mr. Gloomsbury had forced me onto the Vista deck and was gonna push me off.
Oh, how frightening it all was.
I was just about to lose my life on what should have been the happiest day of my life. So that's why I made a wish upon this pendant.
That pendant?
Yes, it was a gift from my husband-to-be, Soren. He said it's a symbol of our love.
And so you made a wish on it?
Now, you may think what I'm about to say is very strange, but... I begged the pendant, please, take me back to that blissful moment. And do you know what? It worked. It brought me back to just before the reception started.
So that's the time traveling thing you mentioned back in my office?
I'm sorry, but I have to say,
it's pretty unbelievable.
Unbelievable? I knew you'd never believe me.
Nick, Ellie here is an honest-to-goodness time traveler. Don't you believe your own client? The magic of that pendant sent her back in time before the creep could kill her.
Sure, Larry, sure. But it's really true, I tell you. This pendant is an important part of the time machine Soren made. I begged it for help, and it really did send me back in time.
Is she listening to herself?
I even experienced the reception again, even though we already held it once before. And during it, everyone there acted as if nothing unusual was happening at all.
Could you not cook while we're talking, please? Alright, so when and how did you come under suspicion for murder?
Well, after the reception ended, the second reception, I mean, I went back to the reception hall and started cleaning up the place by myself.
Hold on. Cleaning? Why were you cleaning on your own wedding day?
For my last task as a servant of the Sprocket household, I offered to take on the preparation and cleanup of the reception banquet.
I see.
I started to move one of the decorative lanterns in the room, but it was so heavy I lost control of it, causing it to topple over and break open. That's when I saw Mr. Gloomsbury's dead body inside the lantern. So you simply happen to be the first to discover the body, right? That's right. I just came across it by accident. But I became confused and didn't know what to do. That's when some of my in-laws saw me and jumped to the conclusion that I had killed him.
So this Bloomsbury guy tried to kill Ellen, but then wound up dead himself after Ellen traveled back in time. A time machine and a magic pendant. How could any of this be possible? Ellie, why don't you tell Nick about that other thing too? About that shadowy figure you saw when you were being attacked.
Yes, good idea, Larry.
So you and Larry here were never planning on getting married, right?
That's right. We've only had a few brief interactions, so I can't say I know him at all.
Oh, Ellie, how can you say that? You and me are bound by fate, I'm telling you. We're meant to be together. What?
You're wrong, Larry.
I've never been so right, baby. It's as plain as the goatee on my chin. Larry, don't make me send you to timeout. Now, can you tell me about the groom, Ellen? What's he like?
His name is Soren Sprocket.
Oh,
He's the most wonderful man. He is truly my destiny.
did you say Soren Sprocket?
As in... That's right. The next president of Sprocket Aviation.
Wait, he's in line to take over the company? He's nothing but a rich, spoiled brat. I'm clearly the better choice. Clearly.
Larry, you and Soren are as different as night and day. There's no comparison.
Ellie, you're breaking my achy, breaky heart. So she's marrying to money, huh?
I can't believe Soren chose me, a simple house servant. He's my knight in shining armor, my prince. Oh, my Soren.
So what's this shadowy figure you saw, Ellen?
It was when Mr. Gloomsbury was attacking me. Right after I made a wish upon this pendant, I started to pass out. But just then, just as I lost consciousness, I saw somebody strike Mr. Gloomsbury from behind.
You did? Then that person must be the true culprit. Did you see who it was?
I am afraid not.
Have you told anybody else about this?
I told some of my in-laws, but nobody took me seriously. They said it was all just a dream.
I can't exactly say I blame them. I mean, time travel?
Larry, for my peace of mind, please tell me that figure wasn't you.
Of course it wasn't! I guess I've asked her all I can for now.
Spick and span, spick and span.
Ellen, what are you doing?
I want to make everything clean and beautiful for when Soren comes. I can't have my future hubby come into a dirty room now, can I? It has to be spotless, just like this white dress. Spick and span, spick and span.
Let's hope we can wipe away all suspicion from you soon, too. Nick, we better get to the crime scene right away. What? You're coming too? Of course I am! If I solve the crime and reveal the true killer with my super sleuthing skills, Ellie might change her mind about me, you know? You never get the message, do you, Larry? Next stop, the Mooring Dock in Sprocket Park. Come on, Nick, let's go! I swear, you are being a pain in the butt, Butz! September 21st. Sprocket Park. Mooring Dock. So this is Sprocket Park. But where's the reception hall? The reception hall? Oh, that's... Wow, looky there. What? What is it? I just spotted me a cute mamacita. Don't wait up, Nick. Hold on, where's the reception hall? Sorry, Nick, a man's gotta stop and smell the roses when they appear. I am an artist, after all. Oh, miss, yoo-hoo! I thought he was gonna take me to the crime scene. Oh well, I'm sure he'll come slinking back when he inevitably gets rejected. I'll just take a quick look around until then. Wow, That airship is huge. Oops, didn't mean to say that out loud. I've only ever seen airships like this up in the sky. But I've gotta say, they're mighty impressive when you can see them up close like this. Wow, that huge airship is more to just this skinny little tower. I know it's tied down and all, but it still looks like a good breeze could send it flying. So this bench hit that sign, huh? Hopefully it didn't hit a person, too. That would be a catastrophe. I guess from now on, whenever I'm walking around outside, I better be on the lookout for unidentified flying furniture, too. Wow, this thing's really banged up.
You looking at the sign? They say it got damaged by heavy winds yesterday. A big gust sent that bench flying into it. Well, that's what they're saying anyway.
I see. The wind caused that? More like a tornado. The repair guy was saying, don't touch, it's dangerous. I see. Thanks for the heads up. Poor guy. Looks like it was a lot of work. Hey, sorry about that. I actually thought you'd be back sooner. Didn't work out, huh? Lay off, man. I wasn't on my game today. So now that you're done, you mind telling me where the reception hall is already? What do you mean? It's right there in front of you. Huh? Right in front of... Wait, what's that say? Flying Chapel? Do you mean to tell me... Yup, Ellie's reception was on that airship. Whoa, a sky-high reception hall. Yup, and that's where you'll find the crime scene. Man, not only does that airship fly through the sky, but the space-time continuum, too. But the happy couple's honeymoon got left far behind when it made that time skip, huh? Here, check the airship out for yourself with this pamphlet. Flying Chapel pamphlet added. By the way, I figured you could use some backup, so I called in some help for you. You did? Yup, should be here any minute now. That was fast. That red sports car! Larry, don't tell me you called. You know it, buddy. I trust you've been well, Wright.
Surprise! Now admit, that was a pretty good Mr. Edgeworth impression, wasn't it?
Maya! What are you doing here?
Larry called me up. He said something about it finally being time for him to tie the old knot. But that's funny. I'm pretty sure he mentioned something about being here with his bride.
Maya! I know this is sudden, but please, marry me!
Nick, what's Larry talking about?
He was dumped by his bride. Well, by his imaginary bride, anyway.
Wow, poor Larry. That's a new low even for him. But hey, imaginary girlfriends never hurt anyone, right? More power to him.
This is Maya Fey. She's been abroad for her training as a spirit medium. But now that her training is over, she's back home here in the States.
That's right. The new and improved Maya Fey's on the scene. Spirit and girl power at the ready.
Look at you, Maya. All grown up and as cute as ever. You know what? I just realized something. If I ever got married, I'd miss out on all the fun of always meeting somebody new. I see you haven't changed a bit, Larry. Edgeworth. Edgeworth! I figured that car belonged to you. But when did you become Maya's chauffeur? It's nothing like that. I just happened to run into her en route and picked her up. And by run into her, I mean she jumped out in front of my car. I nearly ran her down. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's a friend of mine, and the district's chief prosecutor. I heard he's been busy lately. So what brings you here? Wait, don't tell me Larry called you up too. He did. However, I have business of my own here at the crime scene. Business? What kind of business? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Just so you know, Wright, I am the lead prosecutor on this case. What? You? Yes. It appears we'll be standing on opposite ends of the battlefield this time around, so I'll be up against Edgeworth tomorrow. But I don't get it, Edgeworth. What about this case warrants the personal attention of the district's chief prosecutor?
It's a bit complicated, to say the least. In what way? The groom is a member of the Sprockets, a family with immense influence. If his bride were to stand trial in court, it would sully the Sprocket name. So they try to apply some pressure on the prosecutor's office. Pressure to settle it amicably, right? What do you mean, settle it amicably? It means that they're trying to sweep this whole thing under the rug. Wow, Sprocket Aviation really has that much clout? Yes, they have especially strong ties in both the political and the judicial worlds, to the point where no one dares to oppose them. Don't tell me that includes you. Don't be ridiculous, right? It's quite the opposite. The prosecutor's office is filled with cowards, I found out. Every last one of my subordinates was loath to prosecute a Sprocket. So that's why you decided to take on the case yourself, right? That's right. I will personally see to it that justice is served. I always prosecute to the utmost of my abilities, regardless of who I'm up against. For that is a part of my creed. Nothing and no one can sway me from that. Not even the almighty Sprockets. Right. If they think they can use their influence to bend the truth, they have another thing coming. You know, I almost feel sorry for them. They were only trying to protect their interests. But all they got instead was you. Edgy, come on, man. How can you prosecute my poor sweet Ellie? What kind of heartless jerk are you? I'm simply doing my job. And I'm warning you, right? I won't hold back. Not for you or anyone else. Thanks for the warning, your righteousness. So, how's it going, Mr. Chief Prosecutor? Busy as always, I presume. Of course. Unlike somebody who has too few clients and too much time on his hands. Huh? Guess that explains why your brow is more furrowed than the last time I saw you. Maybe you should learn to relax a little, Edgeworth. Nice try, right? But as always, I have no intention of showing anyone any mercy. Including you. As inflexible as ever, I see. Besides, I think I've mellowed out a bit with age. So if anything, those furrows should have smoothed out a little as well. Honestly, Edgeworth, are you really that blind to yourself? Excuse me? He's really self-conscious about those lines, isn't he? Edgeworth, about this incident. Don't forget, right? I'm the prosecutor for this case. Need I remind you that I'm not in the habit of sharing information with my adversary? No! I guess we are adversaries for now. And you, Larry. Me? I'd like you to come with me. You have a lot to answer for after that little stunt you pulled with the suspect. But Edgy, we're all pals, aren't we? Personal appeals won't work on me, Larry. Now come along. Wow, Nick, help me out here! Later, Edgeworth. See you in court. Is it just me, or is Mr. Edgeworth as relentless as ever? Yeah, I guess some things never change. So much for mellowing out. Well, Nick, we better hop to it, too. Hop to what? Investigating the crime scene, of course. What else? It's been a long time since you and I teamed up like this. This is gonna be fun. Fun, huh? It has been a long time, though, since we were last together like this. Alright, to the crime scene then. Yeah! And away we go. Yes, indeed, Maya. It's always good to see you again.